Welcome back to the Mom Line. We are in episode number 8. I'm Hannah Rachel Gaffin.
And I'm Orpaz Levy.
Today we have a special guest, Leora Rizel. Hi, Leora.
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming. This is great.
Leora Rizel is an event planner, and you also have a non-profit organization for the families of the soldiers, which you've helped over the war with over 12,000 families. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what this is?
The IDF Birthday Project has helped children feel less alone and less abandoned by their parent while they are serving. A kit with everything the mom needs to throw a birthday party to help the mom arrives, as well as a birthday gift and a letter from the father. So even when they don't get to see the father is still able to be present. After that, we adapted and we grew, and we take care of holiday gifts, and anytime a woman is struggling, we are there for her. So that's in short about
This is just families with kids, or it's also without kids, like just the wife.
Kids. Also wives, just wives.
Yeah, I remember during the war when everyone was scrambling, you were always coming up with a new initiative, getting coupons from all the local businesses in Efrat.
Wow.
So, I just want to say, Yishal Koach from all of the ladies in Efrat, from all the ladies
Amazing.
around the world who have benefited from what you've done. Because, a full heart it impacts everyone. I mean, it really does. So the other reason we have Leora here today is because I was just really, really struggling with lately with creating a structure for my kids for when they come home from school, and having a strategy to have a set schedule when they get home so that I don't go crazy. And I found out that Leora has a wonderful hack. First of all, not only did she have with over 600 days with your husband serving in Miluim, but you have a wonderful hack of how to use your time wisely and to keep things under control. And one of those things is that every day you organize one closet or one shelf or one drawer in your house. And I started implementing it, and I'm fascinated by what magic this is and how much clarity it's given me in my personal schedule. So I wanted to ask you if you can just share how this came about and what happened.
Sure. I noticed that, thank God, as the family grows and more children come and more stuff comes, you can't believe how much, until you have a child, you don't understand how much stuff children come with. But it's also the kids, we keep adapting. At some point you just need bottles, and at some point you need sippy cups, and at some point...
a little bit louder, it's going to be even better.
Okay.
A little bit louder.
Depending on what stage you are in life, there are different things you need more handy. So let's say now we're not at bottles, we're at sippy cups, so I'm able to put the bottles in a drawer or further back in the drawer and have that more handy. Sometimes it's the Tupperware drawer that got out of control, because you know what, when you're running from one thing to the next, it got crazy. Some of these things the kids could actually have fun doing. Think of it as a game. We take everything out, we wipe it down, and we put it back in, and by shapes and by sizes or by colors, I don't care. And you'd be surprised how much the kids enjoy it. Also, things like matching socks with laundry. There are things that the kids actually enjoy doing. I found a match, yay! And they're so proud of themselves.
It turned into something fun in a game.
It became
like the way we set it up, remember?
Yeah, right.
So I found that as long as they just I see something that's bothering me, I'm okay, I'm taking that drawer and out, I'm putting it on the table. Who wants to help mommy? If someone wants to help, great. If not, mommy's taking care of this drawer. And usually my kids come to help. They're like, ooh, what do you have in the drawer? It's more like curiosity. And they help take everything out, and then okay, now let's put it back. Do we need it? Do we not need it? The same thing with the clothes. Mommy, I need new clothes. You need new clothes? Okay, show me all the old clothes that don't fit you. Bring me a bag and I'll take you shopping. The day you hand me a bag, I'll take you shopping. It's
do you trust them, or do you go through the bag after?
Always snoop. I'm a good mom.
You can't trust them.
Yeah,
I have 2 garbage bags waiting for me upstairs for my 13-year-old, and I don't trust it. And sometimes it's really good things or new things. It's just I won't wear that.
Yeah, it's just not. I can't wear that.
Yeah.
But it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So every day you do something else, a different category.
So during the war, I set my goal once a week. I couldn't do every day because it was just too much. I was trying to balance an organization, 3 kids, no idea where my husband was at the beginning of the war. It was a lot. But I kept to once a week. That was my thing. And it was actually really fun. I'd get Shabbos ready, let's say, and I have 2 hours till Shabbos. Okay, I'll just do this tiny drawer. Okay, I'll just do this one thing. It's just creating a system that works for you. Every day is a lot to ask from somebody, but if you ask once a week to do one drawer in your house, that's like something that people could commit to.
Right.
I also tell my kids that all the things that we don't need, we could give it to families that do need it and don't have these things. So like I turned it into more of like, we're not getting rid of it, we're helping somebody and we're giving it. So it's all how I word it.
Yeah.
Also,
I heard a nice thing actually. I don't do it all the time, but when I first heard it, I did it all the time, and it's amazing. But it's one in, one out. When anything comes in the house, a piece of clothing, anything that goes in your kitchen, toys, games, whatever it is, anything that goes in, we choose something that goes out, and then that also keeps balance. Because I can tell you guys, with 8 kids around here, piles nonstop. So you can either wait till the garbage bags arrive, or you can do it one by one. So that's also another tactic to use.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think the whole idea of like structuring your day after like really having a daily structure with your kids is like doing that stuff, doing the effective stuff, but also tying it into, you know, like activities that the kids will enjoy as well. So Urpaz, what are your insights on this?
Well, first of all, I'm like an organizing freak. I don't know. I love organizing. When I like start going crazy or whatever, my husband knows, like I start organizing. He's like, what are you doing? He knows that I'm calming down again, organizing, fixing things up. It just gives me such like, I don't know, clutter, just
calmness.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Therapy.
For someone who loves everything organized and in place, and having 8 kids and not very organized people around me, then me doing it just really gives me that calmness. And bringing the kids in sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. I can say that doing it on your own, like sometimes I don't want them to get in the way because then it becomes too much of a mess. But doing anything in the afternoon, I say that the way that we set it up is going to make the difference. And thinking ahead of time, and not just like, you know, maybe you're good at doing it spontaneously, but with Chanukah, I think that like setting it up beforehand, when I know what the afternoon is going to look like, and I know what I'm going to do, and I'm going to set it up in a way where ahead of time I know that this afternoon is not going to be so stressful with the kids. So my whole ordeal is setting it up in my brain, first of all.
Right.
And I know that like if everything is good up here, then everything will be good, you know, with the kids. And if I set it up in my head that everything is going to be so stressful and I don't know what I'm going to do with the afternoon, and how is the afternoon going to handle, and there's so much to do, and I have carpool, and I have dinner, and I have all these kids, and I have homework. And if I just constantly focus on the negative, then life is going to be very stressful and very hard.
Right.
And it is. But if we just take out all of the extra, you know, negative words, adjectives, and associations, and you know, you don't have to be all jolly about it and say, "Yay, I'm so excited to make dinner tonight with the kids, and I'm gonna do the dishes, and I'm so excited."
Acting again.
I'm not talking about that, but it's just like taking out the negative associations as well. So if you're just totally neutral and like, "Oh, I'm doing the dishes again, I can't believe it," or "I'm so tired, I have no energy." If you're going to set up your whole afternoon like that, then obviously you are not going to have any energy. Your kids are not going to have fun. You're not going to have any fun.
I think it's practically doing 2 things. What we spoke about last week is setting up like a PlayStation, like 10 minutes before you pick up your kids. It's like you physically set up the activity. You set up what it is you're going to do. So you're saying it's not only physically, it's also psychologically saying, I am not going to let them kink my mood. I'm not going to let, like, I want to be relaxed. I want to be this way. But I also think it's like literally writing down on paper. Like at 4 o'clock, they're doing snack time. At 4:30, they're doing, like, you need to have it set in stone.
I think it also depends on your kids. Like some kids, they really respond to 4 to 4:15. They need to do this, and you know. But some kids are more like things take longer. Some people have kids with special needs, and then they have to adapt, or they have a tantrum. So that's also something that, like, for every family, I believe that there isn't one right routine.
Right.
There's a right routine for you, and you need to figure what that is. So for you, it's to write things down. And for another mom, it could be like, okay, I know what I'm making for lunch, or I know what I'm making for dinner, and I want to, you know, be spontaneous. I want to see where the day takes me, and, you know, but another mom has breakfast, lunch, and supper, you know,
written out for the week.
Yeah, but that makes
I can
her
see that
calm.
you.
No, I don't do that actually.
But if it makes you calm, then that's what you should do.
Right.
I do it for like a few days. So I know like Sunday night is pasta night. Everyone knows, I know. And it's just like after Shabbat, I don't want a lot of dishes. I don't want anything. And I know for years it's been Sunday pasta night. And they're like, what day is today? Oh, Sunday pasta night. And everyone just relax. It's not the same pasta every Sunday,
Right.
but it's pasta. And then I have 2 days a week where lunches for everyone is a set lunch where I know that that's what they're getting for lunch, or 3 days a week. And I know that in the morning, I'm just totally chilled and relaxed because I know what's going to happen. So when we're prepared and we know what's going on next, then we are. Yes, we have Sunday pasta night, and then I have like 3 lunches that are set in stone. And again, I'm like, also like if there's leftovers or something like that, or if my husband went to the bakery in the morning and we have fresh bread, obviously I'm not like that rigid with everything. But when you have that and you know that it's like little things that that are set in stone, then you're calm. You're calm that day. And the kids also know it's the predictability and the routines that are in the house. And that's the security and the confidence that the kids need for healthy brain development and healthy emotional development as well.
Leora, what did you do during the war that was set in stone for your family?
So I think one of the things was before the war we did have more of a routine like you're saying. But when the war broke out and my husband was gone, it was all of a sudden carpool by myself and trying to balance that. So all of a sudden I couldn't do that supper that I used to do because I had to take both ways carpool as opposed to one. I couldn't put my kid to bed at 6:30. I had to put her to bed at 7:30 because I had to take her with me to go carpool because I couldn't go by myself. There are things that like in the situation we had to learn and adapt. And I
be flexible.
Right, and be flexible, which a lot of people don't like to do. And I don't like doing that either,
It's hard.
Like you said, routine, schedules, those are really good. And they're good for the kids too. I saw moms who were like letting their kids like sleep in and not take the bus. And they drive them because they feel bad because their Abba's not there. And I did that for like a day or two because I thought maybe my daughter will feel better. And I found out she was feeling worse. She was getting up in the morning and getting on the bus despite what's going on. Like she was proud of herself. It gave her a sense of accomplishment. And I'm like, no, we are sticking to the routine. We are sticking to schedules. It doesn't matter. I wake up everybody in the house. I get them on the bus. And when they leave, I could be like, oh my God, that was exhausting. But I say that also when my husband's not in there. It's exhausting to
really
get kids
is.
out, to get them on the bus, to drive one, to carpool one. It's exhausting.
Right.
But I think that the second I felt like I did need to adapt and I did need to let go and go with the flow in certain areas, but certain areas I kept very strict, and I did. So I didn't clean a cabinet a day, I cleaned a cabinet a week. Okay, so I didn't, I felt bad, so I did carpool both ways, or, whatever. She went to bed a little bit later. These are all things that, like, you were able to be a little flexible with because you had to be. But I think that, like I said, there's no right way. I think there's a right way for you. Because what works for me doesn't necessarily work for you. And, like, another Miloim mom could be, like, totally not functioning, and asking her to keep a routine is, like, is asking
Impossible.
her. Yeah. And like, there's no judgments. Just because the routine works for me doesn't mean it works for her.
Right.
And she's struggling. So if you're struggling, what could help you? What ways could help you? And I always tell them, ask for help. That's step one. Because there's so many people in our community who really want to help. And there are ways that, like, you could help. You have trouble in the morning, make the sandwiches the night before.
Yeah.
Make
I have a
them
friend
before,
who
put them in
freezes everything. I have a friend who's obsessed with freezing. She freezes, like, everything, but especially sandwiches for her kids. You just take them out of the freezer. Make life easier for yourself.
Okay.
So I wouldn't freeze a sandwich, but I would freeze like a slice of pizza or homemade bread that I make or something like that. I wouldn't be able to go that far.
Right. It's a whole frozen movement.
I spoiled my kids.
But a night before, you can make this. You could cut up your cucumbers and red pepper or whatever.
For sure.
Cut it up and put it in the Tupperware and put it in the fridge. It's ready for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there are so many things that you can do to help.
Or your kids can do that also.
Or your kids, depending
You get
on
like
their
snack
ages.
bags ready and things like that you can set up ahead of time.
So there
also.
are things that they were able to do. And, like, I think it's just looking at everyone's schedule with, like, open eyes. Like, this is your schedule. This works for you. This works for you.
So I'm a mom of two like little kids, and you have kids also of a variety of ages, right? You said
from 17, almost 18
to 4, right? And Paz, you have 8 kids.
17 to 4.
To 4. Amazing. So what did you implement into their schedule to stay sane?
In the younger ages, you're asking specifically?
Yes.
In the younger ages, it was much easier to hold a schedule. just because you don't have like the carpool and all the extra homework and staying up late, because when the whole house stays up late, the little kids don't want to go to sleep. And it's much harder to keep the house quiet. It's just harder, logistically. But when the kids were younger, by 7:00, I had a quiet home. It was heaven. And it was just like putting everything in place where they knew what they were to expect. Dinner was in place. We always had fun. There was always, I would always play with them. There was always music in the background, or singing, dancing, like the fun stuff that comes along with that. And then after that, like the routine at night, it's just like that was set in stone.
Yeah?
Yeah. Bath time. In America, we used to do a lot more baths than here. Here, we're more, stringent on the water and how much it costs. But in America, we would have a lot of bath time. And they would love that. And it's great for sensory input and everything like that. So we would do bath time and then like chill music, dim the lights, get books, sit on the couch, have a lot of books or in bed.
First you did dinner and then bath time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dinner, bath time, and then from the bath time, you're already getting all their senses calm. And, they just know. And bedtime is always dimming the lights, books, calm music, putting it to sleep with classical music. Sometimes I did that. But when they know what to expect and you know what to expect, everything just works and they're looking forward to it. And you don't think, oh my God, I'm putting my kids to sleep. Some moms think that they're, doing horrible, that they're putting their kids to sleep at 7:00. They would tell me like, you're so mean. You just want your own time. And that's why you're putting them to sleep so early. I'm like, no, sweetheart, that's what they need. And science-based, I didn't make this up. They need sleep and they think that they're being good and they're being nice to their kids by keeping them up later because, they want to be with me. I'm like, that's not what they need. Just because you think you're a good mom because of that doesn't mean that's what they need. So it's remembering, again, going back to their needs, and their needs are routines, and their needs are this calmness and this schedule and going to sleep at the same time and getting their melatonin naturally with the dim lights, and that's the healthy thing that they need. And waking up before them.
Before them?
Yes, not being waked up by them.
Really? Okay.
If you can. I mean, I didn't have early
on that.
I didn't have early risers like that would wake up at 5:00 in the morning.
Right.
Or
But like 6:00.
Thank God, 6:00 you're on the edge. When I had nursing babies, obviously, like I would be with a baby on my hands and waking up the whole house is a little bit different. But now that I don't have a baby that I'm nursing or waking up in the middle of the night, then I wake up before them. And when I'm dressed and I'm awake before, because I'm not like such a morning person, so I'm so much nicer when I wake them up. And I wake them up and I'm like, oh, Danny, and I wake up the house like that. So much better than them coming in. I'm like, get out, let me get dressed, like. That's what happens dreadful. To me. That's what happens.
But the kids wake up at 6:00. Like that means that if I want to be
tough,
like you, like a little morning bird, I need to go to sleep by like 10.
Yeah. But 10 minutes. Can't you wake up 10 minutes before? It'll make the biggest difference. I know. I hate waking up early.
Again, when you're tired, you're a monster.
I wake up before my kids too. I agree with that. I wake up before my kids.
I agree that when I do,
I'm not
amazing.
Dressed.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of mom that goes outside in
but just like
pajamas.
Okay, but just but you brushed your teeth and you woke up and you're like
put together. Yeah. I feel like I woke up.
Right. Right.
I'll tell you the difference I found. I found that it was like the kids waking me up is like, okay, you're like on mother mode the second you woke up. It's like, okay, what do you need? Go brush your teeth. Do you need to pee? Does someone wet his bed? Like you're mothering already from the second you woke up.
Before you're even a person.
Exactly.
Before you even brushed your own teeth.
Exactly. And now when I wake up before, I'm like, okay, taking care of myself first. I am put together. There's this person here before I am mothering you. And it's such a shift. It's like this subconscious thing that you don't even realize. And I'm putting it in words now that after I realize.
It's like what they tell you on the airplane. The first thing they say if there's an emergency.
Take care of
yourself.
Put the mask on yourself.
And then on your baby. That should be a motto. Yes. You see on the challenge over there you have on the board, just write that down.
I'm going to
First,
add it in.
take care of yourself, then others. And then your kids are going to start having their own self-care routines.
Right.
You see how she says she's up and dressed and ready to go outside. I'm up. I'm not dressed.
Right.
I brushed my teeth. I didn't. I'm awake. I'm a person. But I'm not dressed yet.
Right.
So there is a middle ground.
It works. And whatever works for you.
Right. Because that works for me. But that's what I'm trying to tell you is that there doesn't have to be like one way or another way.
Right.
Like, you have to adapt what works for you.
Where do you feel like you're struggling now, like with the ages of your kids and the structure in your day?
My 17-year-old's turning 18 soon, so his schedule is very, very different than the 4-year-old. She goes to bed at 7:30, the latest. I tried to put her in her bed by then, and he could just be walking in and want to make dinner, and like you smell him frying something, and you're like, oh my god! And then my
it's
little
the
one's
kitchen
like,
being
what are you
open.
making?
No,
Isn't it the kitchen being open like 24 hours a day and not closing? Yeah.
It doesn't close because there's an age gap,
Right.
you know, and there's nothing I could do.
So it just like opens a can of worms of like suddenly at 7:30 when you want to put him to sleep, it's like, oh, I want to see everything.
What
and be
is
involved.
he doing? Can I have what he's having? You already ate dinner. Yep. But
Yeah.
that looks fun. Can I have? I'll just stay up for a few more minutes, and that's where it becomes, you know.
What did you do when you were in those?
It took me some time to adjust to that and to accept that. And at first I would constantly, no, we already had dinner. Kitchen is closed. No one's getting in here. And then I was like, okay, you can't, totally go against this new reality. So I had to accept it. And it was a process. And then I had to pass it on to my husband. I'm like, listen, this is the new home. Like, we have teenagers in the house. It's not, you can't keep the old house that you had. It's not possible. So you have to accept that this is the new thing. And then what is going to work for us? So I tell them, like, when I'm putting them to bed, you cannot be in the kitchen. At that half an hour,
It's such a good idea.
the kitchen is closed. Why? Because it's going to totally turn this house upside down.
Yeah.
You can't interfere
Can of
with
worms.
my schedule. After they're asleep, I don't care. They won't wake up. I don't care. And it also depends on how big your house is, depends on like your setup in the house, but and how like light sleepers
It has
your
to be
kids
like
are.
a virtual sign, like kitchen is closed, like
Yes, so-
7:30 till 8.
Yeah, so looking back, I would have had doors.
Back off.
But I would have put
I
up
know,
walls
I just
and
thought of that
doors.
too this week.
And I tell my husband, I was like, if I had to build a house again, we have to fix it up again.
kitchen door.
Kitchen door closed with a lock
100%.
to know that it is
For
closed.
those who are building a house,
Yes.
put a kitchen door.
Yes, it
Yes.
really helps with the teenage years later, where you can actually there's
never think
opening
that.
times and closing times.
Oh my god.
Uh,
My grandma used to have a sign. She didn't like anyone in her kitchen ever, so she just had a sign at the entrance: "Do not enter." Like Leia's kitchen, and my sister's the same way. She also doesn't like anyone.
homemade.
There's also Leia. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Something that I'm like also a control freak, and I like it my way. And I learned that we're very much like kitchen people, foodies, and all of my kids cook now. Like from the 11-year-old up, they're all in the kitchen. Not an 11-year-old. My little kids make stuff also. They're cutting salads and they're making their own food also. They make oatmeal on their own, and my little 4-year-old is making his own yogurts and whatever.
Ooh.
But we're all like big food people. And the second that everyone's in the kitchen, at first it would be so overwhelming for me. But I'm like, okay, you guys are getting my drawers dirty. You're touching all the spices. It would be like, I'd be like, get out, get out, get out. And the second that I let them in, yes. Is it not as clean as I would like? Yes. Is it balagan? Yes. But all that stuff. But the second that they like have arrived, their independence and their creativity and their ownership of in here, and like everyone knows, they enjoy bringing their friends over now. Why? Because they know that it's like always a fun place to be and happening, and they're able to make stuff, and there's yummy food and there's yummy smells, and in that there's like such a warm environment. And whether we like it or not, Hashem created us in a way where food is like very central in our life, whether we like it or not.
Right, you need it.
So
You can't live without it.
it's part of the warmth in the house. So you can close the doors and you can close the kitchen and make it all yours. But it's like, they laugh and they say it's like we're a Sephardi home because like food is so important. But I think there's some Ashkenaz homes also
Try to
that
sell a
that
house,
also.
they put cookies in the oven.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's
Right,
sound.
right.
There's something about
And it's the
it.
sensory input that is put in that you remember, and kids have that, and it's the part of their memories for life.
Right.
So
So when do you clean the house? When do you have that peace of mind?
I clean all the time, really.
Right before we started the podcast.
I clean all the time, but my rule is I don't go to sleep without my house being 100%. Like
that is such. I love this. I'm getting so many tips. Don't go to sleep.
there are-
not when you're in a fight with
there
your
are-
husband. And don't go to sleep
Yes.
when the kitchen is dirty.
Listen, again, it's whatever works for you. There's some moms that think that it's okay, and they're like, no, I'll go to sleep, and the dishes are a mess, and I'll keep the dishes, and I'll do it tomorrow. I'm like, just waking up. Yes, maybe you can handle it, and you're not as organized and a clean person as someone else. But when you wake up and you are already going into a kitchen with dinner mess,
Right.
then that's the setup you have starting the
It's
day.
yesterday's baggage.
So it's like it's a cycle and it's never ending. But when I woke up in the morning, when I went to sleep at night, and we had hamburgers last night, it was disgusting. It was smelly. We had Rosh Chodesh hamburgers. It was smelly. It was
never
gross.
believe
I mean,
Right.
yeah,
It's like
and
sparkling clean. You can't see
and
it
then
on the camera.
when I went to bed at night, the last thing I told my husband was, I was like, the kitchen is so clean, you don't even understand. And I didn't do it by myself. one wash the floor, one wash the counter, one wash the dishes. I'm the last one who's closing up the lights and turning on the dishwashers and doing the last run. But I know that everything is in order. And the kids, when they wake up, again, it's that like they're waking up to this calmness. And it's not like living in a chaotic house with a chaotic mom is very stressful for these kids.
Yeah.
And when you are stressed out and waking up and everything is a mess and they can't find anything. And when you can't find a clean cup in the morning and the dishes, oh, I forgot to turn on the dishwasher. The kids know, when they wake up in the morning, they open up that dishwasher and it's always clean. That's just like, that stability and that confidence and that security they have.
Right.
It's a little thing, but in their brain is so much. It really is. And when they know that they'll open their drawer and they'll have underwear that are clean and ready to go, they just know that you don't need to struggle over that little thing. There's bigger things to struggle over and there's going to be bigger things to handle.
Right.
But when the little things are set in place, it just makes life so much less stressful.
Yeah.
Really does. It takes all the extra chaos out.
Yeah. So what I'm getting at from this is like a whole bunch of different hacks that you can do, such as waking up early, such as making sure the house is clean at the end of the day, such as creating a schedule that suits you, having your set boundary hours in the kitchen. It's almost like really turning ourselves into like having such a cycle that like when you have that framework, you're able to like work within that. Even on the days that are rainy and there's storms and there are going to be storms, it's like the second you know that it's in place and it's like you work with it. Yeah.
I found for my daughter, you said your son can't be in the kitchen during going downtime. Dafka lehefech, my daughter hears him and she feels like, oh, okay, he's doing something.
It's my cue to go to bed.
I'm going to bed, and she goes to bed. But if he comes in 2 hours later, she'll wake up with a sound machine. I put a sound machine in her room because she's such a light sleeper. Everything wakes her up. Everything. So Dafka lehefech, we let him make noise until... And then like you said, I always turn on the dishwasher before I go to bed. Like I don't get into my bed if my dishwasher is not on.
Really? It doesn't stop you from falling asleep, the noise?
No, but usually I don't really go straight to bed.
She starts the nighttime routine.
I'm in my room, I go shower, I get in my pajamas, like all this stuff takes time.
Yeah.
But I do turn on my dishwasher and like waking up to clean dishes, there is something very calming about that. And knowing that
it's ridiculous. It's like, it's really funny. Like if you would have told me this, that I would have sat here and told you this 10 years ago, I would have laughed. I thought, that's ridiculous. Or maybe when I had little kids, I'd be like, oh, that's, there's some moms that'll work. But it's all the little things because it adds up. It does. Another thing, it's a little dishwasher.
A bottle, and you don't have a clean bottle.
My new favorite thing to do now as a mom is when I'm in the kitchen and I have the soup up and the laundry machine and the dryer's going. It's like all the noise. It's like a music. It's like an orchestra. I'm like, yes, I'm a good mom. Like it's like
nailed it.
So like you feel like your time is like working for you. You're like sitting like with the queen on your throne like that. I feel like that's like my new favorite thing in the world to do.
But that's what you also look like, and that's what you're portraying to your kids. When you feel like that in your head, that's exactly the mom that you're showing up.
Right.
You're not telling them that.
But you don't know, that doesn't always happen. In order for that to happen, you need to get your workout in the morning. You need to put on your pretty makeup and get your hair and get your outfit that makes you feel good.
There could be a spectrum.
And it's like a whole bunch of stuff. And then when you have those moments that like everything is working for you and you are on track and you are like you're
But that's again individual. There are things that like you feel amazing with makeup and that makes your day. And there are some women, I nailed it. I'm not in my pajama pants. Right. I am amazing. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like that's what
it's
we're
like
saying.
what you did, right? You spend 10 minutes in the morning to do that.
So my makeup is not the same every single day. On the quick days, it's a minute. It's not 10 minutes.
You're always gorgeous.
No, but
knowing you.
Thank you, honey. Thank you. No, but there's a spectrum. There's a range, okay? But it's not like there are days also where I didn't have time to put on the makeup. And am I a different mom when I came down? I am. Because that's exactly what our inside goes out to the outside. And that's exactly what they're getting. And our brain, that's what I'm saying. Like the way we're set up. If you go downstairs and be like, oh man, I didn't wake up. I didn't have time to wake up. I didn't have time to get dressed. I didn't put my makeup on today. You already feel crappy. So that's exactly the mom you're going to be when you go downstairs. But if I got up and that extra 10 minutes that I was able to get up today, or I got up, or even on the days where you didn't manage to do it, if you go down, you're going to be so hard on yourself, and that's, you're going to feel bad.
Right.
You're going to feel bad about yourself. But if you're like, you got to cut some slack.
Right.
And lower the expectations sometimes.
I kind of go with the flow. Like, I'm more like, okay, so I didn't get to put my makeup on, but my day's still going to be good. And I'm not going to let this derail my day because it's so irrelevant to me.
Right.
Now, I can understand to some people it's not, but for me, let's say it's like, okay, fine. So I didn't get to do my hair, or I didn't get to iron my dress, and I'm wearing something else, so not what I wanted. Like, there are things that I think that people also have to learn to l'shachrer a little bit.
You're really good about that. I think the war taught you how to do that.
I think the war did teach me a lot to like let go and let God. Like, I think that really does. Like, iyatov, and okay, so it's not up to my standards.
Right.
My house is not up to my standards.
And one of the things I wrote here is lowering the standards and the expectations.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I was
Making
just
them
thinking
more
about that
reality.
yesterday.
And like I said, if for you it's taking your kids out in pajamas and you're fine with that, then good for you. Nobody should tell you otherwise. Like, I saw a mom at the grocery store and she was wearing like literally fuzzy pajamas, like not even like
You only saw one of those?
like-
Really?
And she looks at me and she goes, "Leora, don't judge." I'm like, I am not judging. I am literally bowing down to you. I have all the respect in the world for you.
Right.
And like, when the war started, my daughter wanted to wear a princess dress or a penguin outfit or something. I'm like, you know what? I don't care what you wear as long as you go to daycare.
What do you mean? In the war,
I would
everyone was
never
wearing
let
pajamas
that-
all day.
You know what? You know what's worse? When you have a mom like that, you are way better off when you have a mom that's confident enough to walk out in her pajamas and go shopping, rather than a mom that'll be like, "Oh no, what are they going to think about me?" And then kids that are constantly, when they're teenagers, you can hear. But you have a boy though, but I have girls. But you hear, and they care so much about what they're going to think about me and what she's going to say about me. I'm like, do you really think that people care so much about what you look like, what you dressed, and what you wore?
But I think as mothers, it's inevitable that you're just not going to care as much. You can't.
Right.
You can't. You just
There's
don't
only
have enough
too
time
many
to care
hours
too much.
in the day.
Right. Wait, but there's one
pick
last
your
piece of the
priorities.
puzzle before we end that I wanna pick your brains and get. How do you set in stone like when it's time to actually go to bed? How do you like stop everything and say, now I'm going to bed?
For me, as a
Yes,
mom?
for you, because your sleep is essential, and if you don't go to sleep, you're a monster. So and you also want to spend time with your husband when he gets home from work, and you also want to have a clean house from the hamburger night. So what do?
I have gone to bed late for years. I really have. And I'm just trying to switch that up now. I used to go to sleep, like my husband also works American hours. So for the last 10 years, he would work until like 11 o'clock, something like that. And then you want to be together, whatever, you want to hang out or whatever, or just until I get the whole house organized, clean, put in the laundry, put in this. And then you always leave extra things for after the kids go to bed. So having the kids go to sleep later and later and later doesn't help with the things that you are leaving off to do. So what I'm doing now is I'm not leaving so much stuff to do. Like I used to have a whole to-do list after the kids go to bed. You got to do this laundry, you got to do the dishes, and you got to finish cleaning, and then you got to work, and you got to read, and you got to this. And I'm like, you got to lower the expectations. And going to sleep early as a priority totally makes the difference. So if you know that that's at the top, and one less load of laundry, or just like figuring out the day. So sometimes I know that like when the kids are around at 5 o'clock, I run and I put in a load of laundry then. And that just totally takes down my to-do list from later on in the day. So it's being more realistic, and it's not easy to do at all. It really isn't. And it really does make a difference. And I see that when I go to sleep earlier, the energy the next day, you're not the same person in the morning.
You're always going to have laundry.
So it's lowering expectations and making it a top priority.
You know, a mom told me.
I like that. Okay.
I'm grateful to see dirty laundry in my hamper. It's because my kids are alive and they're healthy and they're home with me and I get to do their laundry. And she's like, the second I saw it like that, because her sibling lost someone, she's like, all of a sudden it changed my perspective of laundry to, yay, I have laundry because my kids are here and I get to do their laundry. And it changed her mindset. And I feel like no matter what, thank God you have people living in your home. You're always going to have laundry. So if it gets done today,
laundry,
or it gets
dishes,
done tomorrow,
cleaning.
these are things that are always. Now, laundry, if you get it to it every other day instead of every day, that's also fine.
Yeah,
If that
I have
works
laundry
for
days.
you.
I was just going
That's
to say,
fine.
I
that's
have
my
every
sanity.
Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday is my laundry days.
But that works for you, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I know
Yeah.
a mom who has to do one every day because she has a million kids, and she has to do it every day.
Yeah.
That works for her.
Right. But I like that. So it's prioritizing your sleep and expecting less, and that's it. And I think we pretty much like covered most of the different subjects. Yeah.
Do what's right for you, in short.
Yeah.
You know?
So I feel like we should just make a bracha, that we should manage to see what it is that we need to do for ourselves.
Amen.
What's right for ourselves.
Amen. And to remember that everything starts up here. that the way that we set it up in our brain, that's exactly what's going to be. That's the reality that we're setting up. You know, we see the world that we describe. We don't describe the world we see.
Yeah.
My favorite
Tov
statement.
tov yeh tov.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for watching. And if you have any friends who you think might benefit from this, please feel free to share with them and to send in any other questions related to motherhood, anything related.
Yep, absolutely.
Reach out.
When you know better, you mother better, and see you next time.
L'chaim.